these cards, and we're talking about release, right? And eclipses typically last 6 months in energy. So it will take us to the Pisces new moon next year. And I wasn't sure on the date last time, and I haven't looked at the exact date, but it's actually near the end of Pisces season. So, like the second or third week of March. This energy, we're going to be really taking out the old and bringing in the new, especially with Saturn retrograding back into Pisces recently, right? It's the last time. I talked about this in the August Astro Highlights and Luna Notes. If you want to learn more, check out my monthly astrology videos. I announced in another reading that I'm putting that service on hold until I integrate it into my Patreon community. So that's in progress, in case you were wondering. So Saturn went into Aries for the first time in a few years. Well, more than a few years. There are Canadian geese flying by right now, which is not always very common out here, so that could be a synchronicity for somebody. I'm a psychic medium empath as well, so I note synchronicities, signs, angel numbers. If anything calls to you, just means pay closer attention to the message. And depending on the quality of the recording, I hope you enjoy the sounds of nature. I actually released an ASMR last week. We had a random thunderstorm. So if you're curious, have fun exploring the channel. These readings tend to last anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours, so that's why I call them a tarot quest. Perhaps I'll put a timestamp in the description box. I just felt like the energy just really slowed down all of a sudden. I was ready to go when I started this message. So let's talk about gratitude, intuition, cleansing, confidence, resilience, happiness, and release. We were talking about Saturn in Aries and how for the very last time it went back into Pisces with this retrograde. This is the last time it'll be in Pisces for this cycle that we have been closing out. And it's interesting that we're coming into new energy as the collective with the Pisces North Node. What we're moving forward, the last channeled message I talked about, I believe, which is the Pisces mantra, right? We're all talking about, regardless of exactly what your faith is, having faith. And I've said this before, despite what your faith is, the one thing we all have in common is faith. Regardless of what source means to whoever you are. And source could be many, and source could be one, source can be all. So it's like we're kind of looking at the shadow side of Pisces one last time with Saturn. Father Time, Kronos, the father figure of the zodiac. Rules Capricorn, old world ruler is also Aquarius. But Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, modern day, and Uranus is actually in Gemini for the first time this year in the last summer, and it's going to stay there till 8 years from now. And Uranus is unexpected change, and we talked about unexpected change in the last reading as well. I make shorter form versions of these long form reads, so if you prefer shorter style, you're welcome to save this to your watch later and take it in increments, or you can just wait till I release the shorter form. anywhere from a few days to up to a week after the original release. So, do what you're called to do, obviously. I'm just letting Source channel through me right now and kind of see what comes through, and then we'll get to the cards, okay? I know some of you like that I occasionally do video style, but today I just felt like it was necessary to just get the message out and not fuss with all the production. So here we are. What does happiness mean to you? What makes you feel confident about yourself? What are you grateful for in your life? Do you have cleansing practices or ways to purify yourself? Do you trust your intuition? And what does resilience mean to you? What do you need to release? Here with the release card, release past burdens and embrace new beginnings. It's interesting, every single one of these things that are seen as positive oracle cards could be also somebody's burden. The seeking of something, of seeking happiness, seeking confidence, wishing you could trust your intuition, wishing you were more resilient, wishing you had a spiritual practice, a form of cleansing and purifying and grounding yourself. Perhaps your burden is gratitude because you often find yourself envious of other people. These things can be oppressive or they can be supportive. We talk about mind states a lot on this channel in this sacred spiritual community. So sometimes burdens are, some people would say they're challenges. Obviously, I'm seeing the Ten of Wands in my mind's eye. Anyways, we're going to set those to the side. I think we're looking at the duality, the shadow side of Pisces. This is the last time to purge out illusions, delusions, and unclear intentions. Because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which rules all those things. It also rules your connection to spirit. It rules belief, which that's something to think about, is how have you created burdens and blocks for yourself by not incorporating a spiritual aspect to your life? For those of you that are curious about spirituality, but perhaps you don't make it something important, yet you feel like there's something missing in your life. Just pulled the Queen of Wands card. I guess I'm working with the Luna Editions Tarot, Ethereal Visions now. Got a few different decks I'm working with. Queen of Wands. Some of you know your power and you are very capable of having a spiritual practice. You inspire other people to do the same. Queen of Wands is a very magnetic figure, very magical creature. Someone who shines brightly and is very warm and loving, receptive yet also active. There's definitely a more masculine element to the fire and air elements, which are both the masculine signs. Elements that rule the signs, like for example, Leo is a sun, Aquarius is air, so fire and air, right? Those are both masculine energies. And oftentimes, especially if you follow tarot, you know that we're speaking on energies, just like zodiac signs. Not speaking about specific people, but if it rings true and it sounds like somebody you're thinking of, follow your intuition. Intuition came up here as an oracle card, right? Four of Swords. meditation, rest after a very difficult time. Some of you are resting. This is a collective message, so it's going to apply to multiple people in groups in the collective. Let's take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Learning from the past. Integrating wisdom. Eight of Swords, about ways that you were stuck mentally in a self-imposed prison. I'm getting very Queen of Swords vibes, even though this is the Queen of Wands. Then I pull the Knight of Wands. Interesting. I do call out every card for y'all so you don't miss anything. Knight of Wands. Well, the Knight of Wands is very resilient. They just keep getting up and charging forward. They go after what they want. Sometimes they can be a little impulsive, but usually it's done with purpose. Whether that purpose is good or bad is up to the Knight, right? Depends on their personal mission, whatever that means. Their intentions, their motives, right? And that's a fiery Knight. It's a spicy Knight, you know? Sometimes those intentions are a little reckless. But sometimes that's exactly what two consenting parties want. If we're talking about this Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands, that's a fiery match. I'm picking up on a little side message of love here. There's some kind of passion brewing between someone and another. Though you're both not quite on the same level yet. There's something that makes you different. It could be something as simple as this Knight is a little bit younger than the Queen. It could be that simple, or it could be a difference in spiritual journey and rank, what you've gone through, what your experience, what your maturity is, right? What is this about? Ten of Cups. So it's definitely about wish fulfillment with another person for some of you. I guess we're going to lighten the mood here and do a little love reading. We'll see where this goes. It'll probably dip in and out of the spirituals, so you know, this is a journey, this is a quest. Let's see what comes out for everyone. Yeah? Cool. Ten of Cups.